Let's talk about the presentation. First of all, there are kind of two bookends to the presentation. The first bookend, I think, is the beginning of the presentation. You better have listened. You better have listened, because here's the deal. I've got a motto. I've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I better listen twice as much as I talk. So up until this time, you better have listened to the client or the prospect as to what their needs are, what their goals are, and what their expectations are if they choose to buy your product or service. And from that standpoint, if you set the expectations from the beginning, you now have the ability that the client actually wrote the presentation for you. You ask great in-depth questions in the beginning, you'll have the presentation done. Now it's just essentially regurgitating back to them what they told you what's important. So let's talk about preparation. Prior to the presentation, your preparation and analyzing what their needs truly are and asking fully in-depth questions will take you home. You'll be free if you get that done. So prepare early and often. All right. Now, when it comes to the presentation itself, you need to stay with the same motto: prepare, prepare, prepare. Okay, that essentially means that look at your notes, study your notes, understand what makes the client tick, understand what their return on investment is. See, that's the other bookend. Because at the end of this presentation, you better have built the value in you, your organization, and what you're about to provide for the client in a big way. What's the return on investment if I do business with this gentleman or this woman? What am I going to get out of it? It's not about what's important to me. Don't forget that. It's what's important to the client. So prepare, prepare, prepare. Let's go back to that. What does that mean? Well, could be a couple of things. You probably have a written presentation. I always have a written presentation. I feel it helps me to organize my thoughts as I'm preparing for the presentation, as well as organizing the presentation as it's going. That's my outline, essentially. Also, what else do you prepare for? You prepare for a video like this. You prepare for the presentation by rehearsing. You have to know what you're going to say. You can't just fly off the handle. You can't just know and figure out what you're going to say when it comes. You have to anticipate what the client or prospect is going to say to you. Anticipate what we call the objections. What might they have a problem with buying your product or service? So understand what that might be. Rehearse it. Think about it. And then adapt your presentation as you go. Again, it's my belief that if you do the upfront hard work and ask in-depth questions, you'll have all the answers to the test. Make sure throughout your presentation that you provide an ROI, a return on investment, to the client or prospect. Make sure that you prepare, and make sure that you are always doing the right thing to show the client how they're going to benefit from this.